You probably know the story of Stranger Things, but what really happened behind the scenes will blow your mind. From wild on-set secrets to shocking production moments, here are 19 behind-the-scenes facts you didn't know. Stranger Things takes place in the fictional town of Hawkins, Indiana, but in reality, almost all of it is filmed in Georgia. Downtown Hawkins? That's actually downtown Jackson, about 50 minutes from Atlanta. The production also uses nearby towns like Fayetteville, Winston, and Palmetto for key scenes. Even when the story moves to places like California in season 4, some scenes were filmed in New Mexico. Georgia does an amazing job of bringing Hawkins to life on screen. Before Maya Hawke became Robin, Nicola Coughlan, famous for Penelope in Bridgerton, actually auditioned for the role. She later admitted she lost out, saying Maya was just the better fit. Her advice? Watching the shows you didn't get into can actually teach you a lot, and it's never personal. Before Hawkins even existed, Stranger Things was actually set in Montauk, New York. The Duffer Brothers were inspired by the Amityville vibe from Jaws and wanted a coastal town feel. When Netflix picked up the show in 2015, it was even called Montauk, a true 80s love letter from the very beginning. Here's a behind-the-scenes fact. Winona Ryder didn't just play Joyce, she shaped her. Originally a simpler character, Ryder's unique style inspired the Duffer Brothers to expand Joyce, creating iconic moments like the Christmas lights and her relentless search for Will. Without her, Joyce might have been just another typical mom, but Ryder made her unforgettable. Stranger Things was actually Shannon Purser's first acting role, and she made it count. Her portrayal of Barb quickly became a fan favorite, earning her an Emmy nomination in 2017. Big names like Emma Stone and RuPaul even publicly cheered her on, proving that sometimes a first role can make a huge impact. The Stranger Things costume team took their 80s accuracy seriously, even down to the scrunchies. They handmade dozens of them so every color and pattern matched the cast's outfits perfectly. Some were even reused on purpose, like in season 3 when Max and Eleven wear the same scrunchie in different scenes as a subtle nod to their growing friendship. Did you know? Stranger Things has actually been sued twice for supposedly stealing ideas, but both lawsuits completely collapsed. One filmmaker claimed the show copied his script Totem, but he dropped the case after failing to prove anything. Another accused the Duffers of taking ideas from the Montauk project, but he backed out just days before trial, admitting his work wasn't connected at all. Both cases ended the same way: no evidence, no case. Steve and Dustin's legendary bromance was never supposed to happen. The Duffers revealed that in season 2, Steve didn't have much to do, and Dustin was left without a partner. So they paired them up as a quick fix. What they didn't expect was how naturally the duo worked. The chemistry, the humor, the timing. It clicked instantly, and the writers realized they had stumbled into something special. That accidental team-up ended up becoming one of the most iconic friendships in the entire show. The Stranger Things title sequence, the red glow, the slow zoom, the synth hum, wasn't just a stylistic choice. It's a direct nod to Richard Greenberg, a legend in horror title design. Greenberg created iconic openings for films like Alien, Predator, Dracula, Seven, and The Matrix. His style was all about bold lettering, eerie motion, and shadowy atmosphere, the exact vibe Stranger Things uses. The Duffer Brothers said they wanted to capture a bit of Greenberg's magic, and it shows. The moment those letters start forming on screen, you immediately feel the classic horror influence. The real US Department of Energy actually responded to Stranger Things, and they made it funny. Since the show paints Hawkins' lab as a shady DOE branch, the agency posted a cheeky message saying things like, "We don't mess with monsters, and our scientists aren't evil." They even added one cool fact. While they don't explore parallel universes, they do help NASA by making nuclear batteries for space missions. When she first auditioned for season 2, producers hesitated because she was slightly older than the other kids. She was 14 at the time. But Sadie wasn't about to give up. She begged for extra material to showcase her talent. After a chemistry read with Gatton Matarazzo and Caleb McLaughlin, the producers were convinced. And just like that, Sadie landed the role that would become iconic. Chase Stokes auditioned for Stranger Things as Steve, but completely flopped. He forgot his lines and bombed the tryout. Luckily, the Duffers still gave him a small cameo in season 1, which helped him get noticed by Netflix and eventually land his lead role in Outer Banks. Season 4's Vecna was inspired by Dungeons & Dragons and classic 80s horror villains. The Duffers wanted a monster that was truly terrifying, pulling from Freddy Krueger, Hellraiser, and IT. Even Victor Creel was played by Robert Englund, the original Freddy, linking the show directly to those nightmares from their childhood. Dacre Montgomery's Season 4, Cameo, was filmed entirely via Zoom. Since he was in Australia during the pandemic, director Shawn Levy had to direct the scene remotely, while Sadie Sink's part was already shot in a cemetery, making for a tricky but memorable return. Off-screen love alert. Natalia Dyer and Charlie Heaton, who play Nancy and Jonathan, have been dating in real life since 2016. Dyer told Cosmopolitan in 2022 that being with her on-screen partner is an understanding that would be hard to replicate. An indescribable thing. Steve wasn't always the lovable character fans know. In the original pilot, he was written as the biggest douchebag on the planet, according to Ross. The Duffer Brothers softened him thanks to Joe Keery's natural charm, turning Steve into a fan favorite. Keery even admitted that in the first script, Steve had a fair, darker arc involving Nancy. Before Netflix said yes, the Duffer Brothers script for Stranger Things was rejected nearly 20 times. Studios didn't get it. They wanted either a kids show or a Hopper-centered paranormal story. Matt and Ross pushed back, insisting on their multi-generational cast and 80s nostalgia, and thankfully, Netflix finally took the gamble. From the very beginning, Stranger Things was always meant to be a limited run. The Duffer Brothers and producers planned just 4 or 5 seasons. Shawn Levy explained in 2017, "We're definitely going 4 seasons, and there's very much the possibility of a 5th. Beyond that, it becomes unlikely." Ross added, "Eventually, it would stretch credibility. It wasn't meant to be a 7-season show." In the Stranger Things, kids have some seriously famous fans. In a BBC Radio 1 interview, the cast revealed that stars like Terry Crews and Robert Downey Jr. have approached them. At the Emmys, they were even recognized by the casts of Modern Family and Game of Thrones. Even Daniel Radcliffe admitted his love for the show, calling the young actors amazing. And that's a wrap on 19 behind-the-scenes Stranger Things facts. If you enjoyed this, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives. Which fact surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments.